Council with the Daityas, Skanda 10, Chapter 4. The gates closed again, the gatekeepers woke up, and on hearing a child's voice, they forthwith informed their king. Kansa had been anxiously waiting for the birth of this child, so he lost no time in getting up and appearing before Devaki. He snatched away the child from her. Devaki remonstrated with her brother, praying for the life of her daughter. Kansa heeded not her words. He raised the child aloft and cast it down to strike it against a stone. The child slipped away from his hands and rose high up. This younger born of Vishnu appeared with 8 hands bearing 8 weapons: Dhanu, Sula, Isha, Charma, Asi, Shankha, Chakra, and Gada. She had divine garlands and garments and was adorned with ornaments. Siddhas, Charanas, Gandharvas, Apsaras, Kinnaras, and Nagas worshipped her with profuse offerings. Fool that thou art, she thundered forth. What if I am killed? He who shall make an end of thee, thy former enemy, is born somewhere else. Do not kill other children in vain. The goddess Maya then became known by different names in different parts of the earth. Kansa was wonderstruck. He removed the fetters of Vasudeva and Devaki and begged their pardon, saying, like a Rakshasa, I have killed your sons. I do not know what fate awaits me after death. Not only men tell lies, but the Devas too. Kansa then called the Daityas together. These sworn enemies of the Devas heard their master and then broke forth thus: If it be so, O king of Bhoja, we will kill all children, whether 10 days old or not. Whether found in towns, villages, or pasture grounds, what can the Devas do, cowards in battle? They are always afraid of the sound of thy bow. Does you not remember how, pierced by thy arrows, they fled for their lives? The Devas are only bold when they are safe, and they indulge in tall talk outside the battleground. Vishnu seeks solitude. Shiva dwells in forests. Indra has but little might. Brahma is an ascetic, but still the Devas are enemies. They are not to be slighted. Therefore, engage us, your followers, in digging out the very root of the Devas, for like disease and sensuality, when neglected at first, they become difficult of suppression. Vishnu is the root of the Devas, and he represents the eternal religion. Sanatana Dharma, that is, Dharma that follows the eternal course of time or is based on the eternal truths of nature. Hence, eternal religion, a term applied to Hinduism proper. And the roots of Dharma are the Vedas, the cows, the Brahmanas, Tapas, and Yagna. Therefore, by all means, O king, we shall kill the Deva knowing, Yagna performing, and ascetic Brahmanas and cows that supply the sacrificial ghee. Brahmanas, cows, Vedas, asceticism, truth, restraint of the senses, restraint of the mind, faith, kindness, forbearance, and sacrifices, these are the parts of Vishnu's body. Therefore, the best way to kill him is to kill these. Vishnu, who pervades all hearts, is the guide of all devas, the enemy of asuras. He is the root of all devas, including Shiva and Brahma. Kansa approved of this counsel. He directed the Kamarupa bearing, that is, bearing forms at will, asuras to oppress all good people, and they readily took to their work. Nanda and Vasudeva. Skanda 10, Chapter 5. Nanda performed the birth ceremony of his son with great pomp. His gifts knew no bounds. Vishnu was worshipped, and there was plenty in Vraja. The time came for payment of the year's dues to Kansha. So Nanda left Gokula in charge of the Gopas and himself went with the dues to Mathura. Vasudeva learned of Nanda's arrival and went to meet him. Nanda stood up to receive him and embraced him heartily. Said Vasudeva, brother, you grew old and gave up all hopes of having a child. Luckily, a son is now born unto you. It is indeed a new birth to you that you are blessed with the sight of a lovely son. Friends cannot live pleasantly together as their manifold karma, like a strong wind, forces them as under. Is it all right with the big forest, with the pasture lands where you now dwell with friends? Is it all right with my son Balarama, who lives at your place with her mother and who looks upon you as his parent? Nanda replied, Alas, Your sons by Devaki were all killed by Kansa. Even the daughter that was born last has ascended to the heavens. Surely man is governed by the unseen. Those that know are not deluded, said Vasudeva. You have paid your yearly dues and have also met me. Now do not remain here any longer, for evils befall Gokula. Nanda left Madura for Gokula. Putana. Skanda 10, Chapter 6. With evil forebodings, Nanda made his way to Vraja, for he thought Vasudeva would not tell a lie, and he was right. By Kansa's orders, the fierce Putana went about killing children in towns, villages, and pasture lands, for verily she was a killer of children. That wanderer of the skies entered Gokula at will, assuming the form of a woman, most beautiful to look at. So no one stopped her passage. She moved freely here and there, and at last entered the house of Nanda. She looked like a kind mother, and Yashoda and Rohini were so much struck by her fine exterior that they did not stop her access to Krishna. Putana placed the child on her lap and gave him milk from her breast, full of deadly poison. The divine child knew who Putana was and what she was about. He held fast her breast with both hands and in anger drank in the very life juice of the Asura woman. She screamed forth, let go, no more. Her eyes expanded. She cast up and down her hands and feet again and again in profuse perspiration. Her groans made heaven and earth tremble, and space itself resounded on all sides. At last she fell dead like a great mountain, crushing down trees within an ambit of 12 miles. Fearlessly the boy played on her body. The Gopa ladies hurried to the place with Roshini and Yashoda. They bathed the boy in cow's urine and dust from cow's feet. They pronounced the 12 names of Vishnu, Keshava, and others over 12 parts of his body. Then, after touching water, they duly uttered the root mantras over their own body and that of the child. Lastly, they invoked Vishnu by different names to protect the child from danger of all sorts. The protective mantra uttered by the mother with passes of the hand over different parts of the body was supposed to shield the child from danger. Latterly, the custom has been to get the mantra written with due ceremonies by a qualified Brahman on the sacred bark and then to tie it around the hand. Yashoda then placed the child on her lap and gave him milk. By this time, Nanda had returned to Vrindavana. He saw the huge body of the Asura woman and realized the force of Vasudeva's warning. The people of Vraja cut the body into parts and burnt them with fuel. The smoke was sweet scented, as the touch of Krishna's body purifies even the enemy. The upturning of the cart, Skanda 10, Chapter 7. The ceremony observable on the child being able to stand on his legs and birthday ceremony were observed together, and there was a great feast at the house of Nanda. Yashoda placed the child near a cart containing brass vessels with articles of food and became busily engaged in receiving her guests. The child wept, but she did not hear. He then raised his feet aloft, weeping for his mother's milk, and struck the cart with his feet. The cart was upset, the brass vessels broken, and the wheel and axle upturned. The Gopa ladies could not account for this wonderful phenomenon. The boys who sat near the child told all that they saw, but people could not easily believe what they said. Trinavarta, or the whirlwind, Skanda 10, Chapter 7. The child was once on the lap of Yashoda when he suddenly became so heavy that Yashoda had to throw him on the ground. The Asura Trinavarta, or whirlwind, made an attack on the child, and a violent dust storm overtook Gokula. The Ashura had scarcely raised Krishna to a certain height, when his weight almost crushed him to death. Krishna did not let go his hold, and the Asura breathed his last and fell dead. Yashoda kissed her son again and again, but when he opened his mouth, the mother saw the whole universe within it. The names Krishna and Rama. Skanda 10, Chapter 8. Garga, the family priest of the Yadus, came to Vraja at the request of Vasudeva. Nanda duly received him and said, You are versed in the Vedas, and you are the author of an astrological treatise. Please perform the naming ceremony of the two boys. Garga replied, I am known as the priest of the Yadus, and if I officiate at the ceremony, Kansa might suspect your son to be the eighth son of Devaki. Nanda promised strict privacy, and the rishi performed the ceremony. Addressing Nanda, he then said, This son of Rohini shall be called Rama, or the charming one. as he shall charm his friends by his virtues. He shall be called Bala, from possessing excessive strength. From his bringing together the Yadus, he shall be called Sankarshana. This other boy taking body yuga after yuga had three colors: white, Shukla, red, Rakta, and yellow, Pita. Now he has got the black color, Krishna. In the past, he was born as a son of Vasudeva. So those that know call him Srimat Vasudeva. He has many names and many forms, according to his deeds and attributes. Neither I nor other people know them all. He shall give you the greatest blessings and protect you against all dangers. In days of yore, good people conquered the ill doers by his help. Those that are attached to him are not conquered by enemies, even as followers of Vishnu are not conquered by asuras. Therefore, this son of Nanda is equal to Narayana by his virtues, powers, and fame.